episode of Hawkeye Bass, and I'm back from my break. Today, me and my brother are doing some topwater white bass and wiper fishing down at the super secret spot. No one knows about this spot. No one in the world knows about it. Except for those people. And all those people. Just kidding. We are at the Red Rock Dam, located just southeast of the Des Moines Metro in central Iowa. A very well-known spot and a place that can produce some really good fishing. So we're out here now. We are tossing some big spooks, like 6-inch spooks, some whopper ploppers. We also have some shad on the bottom. Just filming this intro now. We've gotten to a few fish so far, but we're hoping the bite turns on a little bit. We are also going to be doing a white bass catch and cook today. I've never done one of these on this channel, and it's a pretty tasty fish. It's not as good as like walleye and crappie, but there's a reason. But it is still a pretty tasty fish. You can see this is the super spook from Hedden. I caught the biggest one of the night on this, which you will see here really shortly. Like I said, we're probably not going to catch a ton of fish in this video just because it was super hot today and the pressure has been just ridiculous down here. As you can see, there's literally probably 30 people down here right now. So we're going to turn this GoPro on, hopefully get a few more topwater fish, go home, cook these fish up for you guys, and show you how to cook these pretty tasty fish that, you know, you can get in abundance sometimes, and maybe even a bonus catfish. So we have one catfish rod out there. So that'd be nice if we can add one of those as well, but enough talking on here. We're gonna switch to the GoPro, hopefully catch a few more fish. Oh my gosh, that is slipperier than I thought. All right guys, wasn't really prepared. We got a fish on, first fish of the day. Oh yeah. Woo. Nice little, that's a white bass to start off the day. All right guys, so we've tied on the plopper. See if we can get some topwater action down here. I think the action's starting to pick up. Guy just to the left of me caught one. Still nothing on the old catfish rod. But like I mentioned at the beginning, I am not a catfishing expert, even though we are going on a specific catfishing trip this weekend. So hopefully we can pull some up this weekend. But tonight I'd just be happy if we get one on there. And a couple on this plopper. Logan got one topwater on the whopper plopper, right? Yeah. Sick, dude. You were just, what were you just saying?
I'm saying that I always have the worst luck when I come here, and I'm not coming here again.
Right, literally, what, 5 seconds after? Gee, that's a nice one, dude. That's a nice one. Holy moly. Be careful with those hooks. Yeah. Don't put them in there. That works. Incompatible battery. Okay, you're not gonna get a look on the big camera, but there's a good fish. Logan with the second topwater fish. It's been so slow out here tonight, guys. So dang slow.
So much more crazy on the hit. Yeah.
Decent one. Looks pretty good, eh?
Yeah. Just a little bit.
There you go. Yeah. Good fish. You can let that one back. Make everyone down here mad. First cast of the giant spook. Oh my gosh, dude, this is giant. Unless I happen to like snag a carp on top, this is an absolute giant. Oh gosh. I have a bad feeling it's a carp. No, it's a big wiper. Big wiper. Big wiper. Not as big as I thought, but it's giant. Oh yeah.
That's a big one, dude.
Oh. Oh, buddy. Yeah, probably. I don't know how I'm gonna land it though.
I have a scale.
Oh. It's so wavy. He was in that, well, because I caught him out in that current and he just went for a crazy run. We will take that though. Woo. Woo. That's a nice fish. All right, let's get a release on him. Get this over and off. Here's the thumbnail. Good. All right, big guy. Alright guys, it is dark and it is late. I know this camera is probably showing you a lot lighter than it actually is, but down here we just cannot seem to get a catfish. Can't do it. Tried everything. We haven't seen anyone else catching either, so it's probably just not a good night for catfish. Like I said, or maybe I didn't mention earlier in the video, on Saturday. So 2 days, we're going on an actual catfishing excursion. So we'll bring that video to you hopefully on Sunday or Monday. That should be posted if we catch some cats, but I just don't think it's gonna happen tonight. So we're gonna pack up here pretty quick, go home and fillet up those white bass and show you guys how I do it. And what I do, I just do a pretty simple recipe, you know, but it's good fish. So we're gonna give it about 5 more minutes and get out of here.
All right, folks, it is past midnight. Let's just put it that way. It's really late, so we're not going to cook these tonight, but I am going to go in and go ahead and clean these. And instead of putting it on the big camera here, I'm going to show you guys from, you know, from a point of view perspective here on how I clean these. I do it the most simple way. I'm sure it wastes a little bit of meat, but it is so convenient, and especially at, you know, 12:50 at night. We're going to go through and clean with these. I'm going to soak it in a bowl of salt water overnight, and then we will jump back in tomorrow with the cooking portion of this video. So basically you want to go, you have your fin. I know this probably isn't the greatest lighting here. You got your 2 fins here, the one on the bottom and the one on the side. I just go kind of at an angle, so like that way through the meat, and go all the way up to the gill plate, and then just drag it back to the tail. You do not want to go through the spine, the backbone of the fish, otherwise it just screws up the whole fillet and you got a huge mess on your hands. We're going to go up, curve that blade in, go up right to its backbone, and then curve the blade. And go right along the backbone. Make sure you're going through the underneath side. I do not go all the way through the tail. I leave a little bit there because then you are able to just basically flip this fillet around and look at the size of that fillet. I mean, that is just absurd how much meat you get out of one of these things right there. I mean, that is huge. There's my hand. There's the fillet. It's twice as big as my hand. Then you run the blade up here, right along the skin, between the skin and the meat. Oh, one more. I almost forgot about this. If you can see on there, there's like a little bloodline. I don't know what this exactly is called. When I'm filleting like walleye or crappie, I will go like skin tight, like against the skin and the fillet. I will go right along and take it down. But this one, I don't press quite as far down. I want to get that blood layer, that bloodline layer, to stay on the skin. So I'm just going to hold this knife just a little bit above. You can see right there that most of it was left on the skin, because that stuff doesn't taste the best, even though you can't eat it. I tend to not eat it. Then all you have left is your rib cage right here. And you just go right along the rib cage, kind of curve the knife around the rib cage, and you just cut the rib cage out just like that. And look at that fillet. Just an absolute giant fillet. What I'll usually do is cut it in half because it'll fry easier or just cook easier no matter what you're doing. And then basically you flip the fish over and do the same. So hope you guys like this little point of view here. I'm not going to do too much more of this because people on YouTube do not appreciate you cutting open fish and other animals to make food, which doesn't make any sense. But anyways, we will jump back to with you tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to cook these up for lunch, so we will see you in just a second.
Alright guys, so it is the next day. We're going to cook this fish up now. We're doing a really simple recipe I do with these guys. Basically all we got is a little bit of flour, about a half a cup of flour to be exact. We're only cooking up one of the fish. Today I froze the other one. And right here, we have a little mixture of a few spices here. We have salt and pepper. We have some minced onion, a little bit of cayenne pepper. I put like maybe like half a teaspoon in there, and then a pretty healthy dash of lemon pepper seasoning. Now instead of like deep frying it like in the Fry Daddy here, we are actually going to do a little bit of light frying with some extra virgin olive oil. So I'm going to go ahead, basically dip these fish in just straight up water. I'm not going to use an egg, I'm not going to use milk. I'm going to do a light breading on these, so we're just going to dip them in a little bit of water and then transition them into the flour. Well, first of all, we're going to take our seasonings and mix them in with the flour. We're going to take the fillets, put them in some water, dip them in here, and they're going to go straight into the frying pan. So let's get into that now.
Alright guys, so on to the next step. We have a pan here with just a little bit of olive oil on it. Basically you just want to cover the bottom of the pan. You don't want, a ton of grease because we're not really deep frying these. We're just doing a nice little fry on these guys. You can see on the breading I kind of shook off the extra flour. So it's going to be a nice light breading, good for a hot summer day meal. You're not eating a huge, like big breaded piece of greasy fish. It's going to be nice and lightly fried. So let's get the fish in the pan. Alright guys, we are approaching the final cook here. We just flipped them. We're going to let them cook for a couple more minutes. You can see how light this batter is because I was a little too aggressive flipping this one, and you see like the coating on this one is starting to come off a little bit. So I was a little too aggressive. You got to be kind of careful when you flip those things, otherwise that very light breading on there will fall off. But we're going to give it a couple more minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and transition them to the plate with paper towel to get all the extra grease off. And then we'll be ready to try them out. You can see how they turned out. Some of the skin did come off just because it's such a light breading, but overall I think it turned out great. So we're gonna go ahead and sit down, give it a taste test, and then get back on with our day. This is just a quick little lunch. Usually I'd serve this with the side, like a salad or something on a hot summer day, but today we just got the fish, so let's sit down and try it out. So we have the fish all done. Like I said, this is only one of the fish, and look how much meat that made. Like, this is almost too much for me. I have my wife here. I was gonna have a little bit. I'm also probably gonna give a little to my dog. He is crazy about fish, so we're gonna go ahead. This isn't really finger food necessarily because, like I said, it's a really light breading, so this is basically just gonna flake apart when you try to grab it. So you wanna use a fork. Let me give you a closer view here, but you still got, that crispy breading, but then once again, it's not super heavy and it's not like super greasy. I kind of take a paper towel, get more of the grease off the top, and you got yourself a nice, as healthy as fried fish can be, nice little healthy fried fish for lunch. Okay, so here we go. Once again, look at that. The steam coming off it. Look how white that meat is. It's just, it's a really good fish. I mean, it's not, not comparable to walleye or crappie or perch or pike really, but it's a really good fish. And like I said, you can get one fish and basically feed, a family. So imagine if you got like 10 of them, you'd have food for a while. So here we go, guys. Right off the bat, really good. Does have a little bit of a fishy taste. You can put a little more like lemon pepper, stuff like that to kind of hide that taste, but it doesn't bother me. And once again, it's not like a super fishy taste. It's just a nice, mild fishy taste. It's not like, walleye, crappie, once again. But alright guys, so that's pretty much going to sum up the video today. I hope you guys enjoyed. Try white bass if you haven't. It's a pretty good fish. Once again, it's not comparable to walleye and crappie, but it is pretty tasty. You can use this recipe, or there's a bunch of recipes online. I'm going to do another one here shortly with that other fish. I'll show you guys a different recipe for it. But until then, we will see you guys on the next video, which is going to be coming out really soon. We're going to be doing a catfishing video and a northern pike video. So we will see you guys later.